Hi, welcome to the section of Sqoop. In this section, we'll see what is Sqoop and what are the uses of Sqoop and what are the different architectures or different mechanisms we follow in Sqoop. Okay, let's quickly jump into what is Sqoop. Sqoop is an SQL import and export utility. So what is the use? Being an SQL import and export utility, it can be used to move data from non-Hadoop data stores like your RDBMS of MySQL or SQL or DB2 into HDFS. Okay, it is basically used to move data from non-Hadoop data stores such as your MySQL, SQL or DB2 etc. into your HDFS. So why is this required? This is required because if you got to analyze your data in HDFS, you need your data. And most of the organizations currently have their repository in RDBMS. Maybe it might be DB2 or it might be SQL or MySQL, anything. So there should be a proper mechanism that would bring data from RDBMS into HDFS with a lot of performance upgrade. So that's why this this Sqoop has been implemented in Hadoop as its ecosystem component to move data from RDBMS into HDFS. Okay, while moving, okay, it allows the users to specify the location where you got to dump your data into HDFS. That's again one of the feature of Sqoop. For example, when you are taking data from RDBMS, if you want the data to be landed in a specific path in HDFS, you can definitely do that. Yeah. So now let's see what is the Sqoop import utility. Okay, Sqoop import utility is something which is required to get your data from RDBMS and land it into HDFS. Let's say that we have an orders database which is of MySQL. Okay, you have something called, it's a table. Let's consider that orders is a table which has some 4 million records. It's a MySQL table. Okay, if you want to store that into HDFS, okay, you will launch something called map only job. We know that any Hadoop ecosystem component runs MapReduce in the background, but Sqoop is little different. It launches only mapper jobs. See here, we submit a map only job so that out of this 4 million records, each million will go into one of the mapper and it will push that into HDFS. The advantage of this is if you are taking something around 4 million to be transformed into HDFS, if you are taking something called 4 minutes earlier, with these 4 mappers, your data will be moved only in 1 minute because we are doing it parallelly with 4 mappers, right? So all these 4 mappers will store the data into HDFS in 4 minutes. Okay, so the important thing to be remembered over here is Sqoop launches only map only jobs. It connects to your RDBMS and pulls the data and puts it into HDFS specific path that is provided by the user. Okay, but I told Sqoop is an SQL utility for import and exports. So this is the import we have seen. How about the export? So vice versa is also possible. If you have data in HDFS, if you wanted to store it into RDBMS, you can definitely do that using Sqoop. Even for this, we have something called map only jobs. It will take the data from HDFS and put it back into RDBMS. Because see, we do a lot of analysis or transformations using our Hadoop, right? If you are transforming your data in pig, and if your user is expecting the transformed data back into RDBMS, so you can definitely do that using Sqoop. We'll use Sqoop export utility, which also again launches your map only jobs, which takes the data from HDFS and puts it back into RDBMS. So this is all about introduction of Sqoop. We have seen what is Sqoop, what are the uses of Sqoop, and what is Sqoop import and export mechanism. In our next sessions, we'll be looking at how do we connect to an RDBMS called MySQL from our local file system and pull the data or put the data from using Sqoop utility. Yeah, hope you had enjoyed this video. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye.